Hey guys, Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. I'm coming around. Hi guys. Okay, you guys, I wanted to share today my eBay, my reseller story and my entrepreneurial story, and like when I started wanting to become an entrepreneur, or I guess it's an entrepreneur. Being a reseller is an entrepreneur. So I wanted to tell my story. And I want you guys to tell your story if you'd like to share, and leave it below. Like, you can leave a whole paragraph and tell your story, or you can just, tell a couple of things that you did as a child that was very entrepreneurial, or had that entrepreneur spirit, or high school, or when you were in your 20s, or if you're 20 now and you're just going through it right now. So I'm just going to talk about some things that I did as a kid that was very entrepreneurial, some things I did younger in my life, some things in high school. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is me and my friend. She had this orange tree in her backyard, and I had the idea of a lemonade stand, but I was like, we don't have any lemons, but you have those oranges in your backyard, and we can make fresh squeezed orange juice. I got a juicer. And she was like, cool. So we it took us 3 weeks, and we squeezed every day. We'd squeeze so many oranges, and we'd sell orange juice. We'd go pick the oranges, make fresh squeezed orange juice that day, set up our little orange juice stand, and we'd sell fresh squeezed orange juice. Our neighborhood, everyone loved it. All the adults bought it because it was fresh squeezed orange juice. It was awesome. We did that for 3 weeks. It took us about 3 weeks to clear that tree of oranges and juice it all, and every day sell orange juice. Me and my friend had money for like 2 months. It was awesome. We went to the movies. We went to Thrifties. That was this little thrift store. Not thrift store. It was like a Walgreens. Went to Thrifties. Got ice cream all the time. Shopped for lip glosses. We had the best time. So that was one of my fondest, earliest memories of having that entrepreneurial spirit. Another thing, like when I was in high school, I was a Pommy, and my brother was a cheerleader. He also played football, but it was like in style for the football players to be male cheerleaders, because they could go to pom camp with us, cheer and pom camp. So they're there, like 5 guys with all these girls. Anyway, it was like the thing. So anyway, what me and my brother would do is we'd buy candy bars. Then you could buy candy bars for $1, and we could sell them for 75 cents a piece at school. So, but every week was always dedicated to a certain club, or a certain club each week. So you could never, of course, do that, because that was supposedly the Deca Club that week that could sell candy bars or whatever they wanted to sell. Every week was designated out. So we thought, well, I'll just say I'm selling them for you. You're on cheer, and you tell them you're selling them for me. I'm a Pommy. So that's what we did, and we did that for the whole year. Nobody ever caught on. We did that, like, I think we did that for a couple of years. It was crazy. We made good money. So every time we saw the candy bars at our grocery store, local grocery store, for $4, we were there buying tons. So that was another thing that I did, which is really funny. Another thing I did in my how old was I then? 27? The internet had just started, and I mean just had started. And this was like 94, 95. At least when I started noticing. But anyway, that's early on, around that beginning internet time. And we got an internet store, and we had to pay $500, you guys, to get an internet store. He built us a whole like little website and everything. I ordered all these. I didn't order products. I had a catalog that I could take the pictures from the catalog, was what he did, and then I could order the products when they ordered them. I don't know how I was going to do it, but somehow like that. It's basically just the kind of stores we have now, but it's eBay, and we don't have to pay for the damn store. Like, the store is free. They take a percentage, but anyway, so I didn't sell a damn thing, because nobody even knew. I mean, I was a needle in a haystack. At that time, there was no Google, there was no Facebook, there was no nothing. Okay, you guys, there was no way to find me. But I just thought, it's the World Wide Web, they're going to find me. But I knew back then, I knew that the internet was the way to make money. I knew that was the way to sell product way back then. So no failure or success is ever a waste of time. You learn always from everything, okay? So the other thing I did, I thought I would discuss this. The other thing I did early in my life is I waitress. From 17 to about, when did I start doing hair? When I was like 23? I think I started doing hair. Yeah, from like 17 to about 23, 24, about 23, I waitressed. And that doesn't sound like a very entrepreneurial job, but in a way it is, because you're doing your own thing. Like, you're in charge of yourself. Like, you walk in every day, you have zero money, okay? I mean, maybe not in your pocket, but you don't have any, you're not making an hourly wage. You have nothing until you work that day. So it all is on you. Like, you have to be good at customer service. You have to be good with people. You have to be organized to get people's orders out. You have to take order. You got to have your crap together. And I loved it. I loved walking in, having zero money and walking out with $75, $150. And it was all based on me. I love that. I've never had an hourly job. I did once, and it lasted like a month. It bored me to death. I worked in a retail store. I thought I was going to kill myself. I was like, oh my God, I hate this. So I've always had a job pretty much, as I think about it, because I tried to be a hostess. I didn't like that. You know what I liked? I liked being the bus hop. I was a bus hop because I can make tips. Every day I can make money. So that was another thing early on. Another thing too, I had a job you wouldn't think is very entrepreneurial, but it is. I was a hairstylist for over 15 years. I started that probably when I was 23, 24. That was right after the waitressing whole thing. I went to college when I was waitressing, decided college wasn't my thing, decided to be a hairstylist, and I went into that. And you think that's not very entrepreneurial, but it is. Again, you walk in every day with zero, okay? I mean, you made money the day before and the day before that, but every day is a new day. You're not getting an hourly wage. It's pure commission. So I love that. I made sure I was worked at the right salons that already had an established clientele that I could work on until I built my own clientele. And, you know, they take, usually it was a 60-40 split. You get 60, they get 40%. But you decide how much money you're going to make on how good you do, how awesome of a hairstylist you are, how great of a personality you have, how much you can listen to people, how many, if you can solve problems. People come in with jacked up hair and you got to, you know, recolor their hair once they bleached it and messed it up. Anyway, so that's very entrepreneurial when you work pure commission. Everyone had their own little business at their station. So I did that for 15 years, made great money, and loved doing it. Another thing is, I did have my own studio salon. So what that is in Arizona, that's where I used to live before I lived here in Vegas. There was this really beautiful, big 3-story building. It was gorgeous. And they had studios in there. So I had a good clientele. So I went there and opened up my own little studio. I had my own door and lock, everything, and opened up my little studio. Only I worked in my studio, but everyone had their own little studio salons. And I did that for a couple of years. That was awesome. I loved that. And then I went through a divorce and things. And anyway, I ended up in Las Vegas. And I didn't have to work anymore, which was really nice. My daughter was now getting to be in junior high, then high school. And, you know, those are some times where it's nice to be home. Kids, when they get to be junior high or high school, they be getting in trouble. And it's nice that you can be at home and you can be watching your kids, because if you have them, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so that was really nice. But I couldn't just sit home and do nothing. No. So I started making jewelry. My husband saw my jewelry. He's like, you need to sell your jewelry. I'm like, okay. So he goes, I think you could go sell at the farmer's market down the street. And I said, all right. And he said, you know, the main thing about the farmer's market is you're not there to sell jewelry. You're there more of like advertisement, really. You'll sell some jewelry, yeah. But you never know who's going to see your jewelry. A store may see your jewelry. You don't know who's ever going to see your jewelry and like it. And he was right. I got 2 stores that started my jewelry business from that farmer's market. So eventually I was only at the farmer's market for maybe 2 months. Because I started, after I got those 2 stores, there were 2 clothing stores who saw my jewelry, and I got my jewelry in both those clothing stores. And then I went ahead and found another 8 stores. I just started thinking, you know what, who do I do business with? What places do I shop at? Where would my jewelry fit in good at? And I went to those places and I talked to them and I got my jewelry in. And I did that for like 3 years. I loved it, but you get burnt out when you take your craft, something you love doing, and you have to do it in bulk. I got really burnt out on that. And at that time, when I was getting burnt out, I was watching YouTube because I'm in the craft community. And we all do crafts and we do challenges with each other. I love it. I'm still in the craft community on YouTube. But I ran into people who do eBay, and I'm like, what's this? And I started learning this whole eBay thing. And there was this lady down the street from me, and she had these garage sales, and I mean awesome, like every week. And I was going there anyway, just shopping for myself. And I'm like, I need to pick up some stuff for eBay down there. Because almost everything she had was $1, and this stuff should not have been $1. For example, she had a Walkman. It was broken, but I had just learned on YouTube the week before about if the Walkman is broken, you could sell it for parts. Okay, not just any Walkman, but certain ones. I found the certain one. Can you believe that? A week later, after I just had learned about it, put it on eBay, sold it for $70 within like a day or two. I was hooked. Then I picked up a bunch of stuff from her. I did this with her for like 6 months, and that's really how I got my eBay store started. Besides, I'll tell you the other way too. I had learned that VHS tapes sell. Yeah, VHS. People still watch VHS. People still have VCRs. Okay, I know. I had no idea. So I picked up this VHS. It was about a nun, and it was her story. She was on the History Channel, which she was only on there one time, and I had heard informational VHS tapes can be worth money. So I just saw this one about this nun. I looked it up on eBay. It was selling for like $90 to $100. I was like, oh my gosh. I went home, put that thing on. Within a couple days, I think I sold it for $75, $80, something like that. I was hooked. And then also my husband's been collecting action figures, UFC, WWE, WWF for like years. So I sell his action figures also in that store. So I already had stuff to sell anyway. But the reason I would go to garage sales and thrift stores still was because I wanted to, I was acquiring so much knowledge from YouTube. I wanted to make sure I applied that knowledge. Because someday I'm going to run out of all these action figures I have to sell for my husband. And now I have 2 stores. I have the clothing store, which I just opened up a couple months ago. And I've been doing eBay for like 3 years. I've just started really taking it seriously as a serious business. I mean, I was doing it and making good money, good extra money, for us. But I really started taking it serious like a business, probably like over the last few months, like over the last maybe 6 months. I've really been trying to get really serious about eBay and really getting serious about it over the last few months. So, but I've been doing it for like 4 years. So, I'm just trying to see here. Oh, that's another thing that I want to share with you guys. When I had the jewelry open, when I was doing the jewelry thing, I'm also an herbalist, and I was taking like all these herb classes to become an herbalist, and nothing major. I take classes. I go take a class, once a week or whatever at this herb shop, and it was really cool. I learned about this herb called chaparral, and she said when it rains, reason we smell rain is because of this plant chaparral. Well, the chaparral plant is in all the vacant lots, like in Las Vegas, Arizona, California, and in the deserts. It grows wild everywhere. You just don't notice it. And so I started noticing, and I looked it up. I went, oh, what's the... So I looked up the chaparral plant, and for some reason it came to me that if I got a hold of this chaparral plant that grows in all these vacant lots wherever in the desert, I could bundle it like sage, throw it in water, and people could have a thing called rain sticks. So I created rain sticks. And I had a vacant lot near me. I cleared that vacant lot. I did this for 2 years. I cleared that vacant lot and selling these rain sticks. And I had about I had 10 stores for the jewelry, and about 8 of those, it was appropriate to sell the rain sticks. And I made good money. That was pure profit. Pure. I got it for free out of vacant lots, and they're called rain sticks, people. That was one of the best hustles I think I've ever had in my life. Give me some crap out of a vacant lot and wrapping and bundling and selling it. I sold them for like $2.50 a bundle. People love these damn rain sticks. It was awesome. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to share with you guys. Yeah, I think that was the things that when I was thinking about this today, like how did I get this entrepreneurial spirit? How did I start this whole thing? And how did I start being a reseller? So I started thinking about my story. And I want you guys to think about your story. Please, if you want to leave a paragraph below, leave a paragraph. Tell your story. I want to hear it. Other people like reading this. When I do these type of like story tells, or I ask you guys to participate, other people are saying that they're loving it, and they're loving being given a platform to talk about things, and they love reading other people's stories. It's very inspirational. It's very helpful. It's very enlightening. So if you want to leave a paragraph about your story. If you only want to leave like a few things that you've thought about, like, oh yeah, I had a lemonade stand, and I did this and I did that. put them down. Let's share, and let's all read about it. And I can't wait to share. I can't wait to read about everything you guys tell me about. I will comment back. I think it'll be so fun. If you do have any questions for me, make sure you leave them below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give my video a thumbs up, that would be awesome. If you can join me on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm My Fairy Treasures. On Snapchat, I'm Angie Bell. On Facebook, I'm Angie Bell. And I'll leave all that information below. Okay, you guys? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys leave your story or a few things of how that shows your entrepreneurial spirit when you were younger. And or if you are younger, just tell us about what you're doing right now. Okay? All right. Talk to you guys next video. Bye.